Hey Gadget Groupies, some Gadget Guy here with another FFC vlog. These are the video blogs shot using the front-facing cameras on the various phones and tablets and computers we get to try out here on Some Gadget Guy. And today's vlog is being shot using the pair of front-facing cameras found on the LG V10. One is a little narrower, the other has a wider field of view, and I haven't found any way that we could use both of these in tandem. It would be really cool if I didn't have to stop shooting in between every single cut where I wanted to expand or contract the field of view. And I promise I'm not going to keep flipping back and forth that quickly. But it's about gimmicks that I wanted to talk about today because I've heard that term bandied about quite a bit in discussing the LG V10 with my audience and then showing it off with to some of my friends out in public. And it's being brought up on two features. One, these dual front-facing camera lenses, and then also the little ticker display that goes above the screen on the V10. Well, that's just a gimmick. I don't understand why I even need something like that. And I've just found it to be a really interesting response to a different type of hardware feature. And it's a question that I wanted to throw out to my audience. What makes a hardware feature something that's a part of a phone platform? And what makes a hardware feature a gimmick? I mean, the actual core experience of using a smartphone these days is pretty well plateaued. We've kind of figured out most people want some sort of rectangular slab of glass, a glowing rectangle, and as few buttons and distractions on that device as possible. So how should smartphone manufacturers differentiate themselves from their competition? How do they improve upon the experience of that slab of glass? And why is it that part of this commentary seems to be focused on need? Well, I don't need that, so the phone shouldn't have that. With such great diversity in the smartphone landscape, there are plenty of features on plenty of handsets that I don't need, but that I know will benefit someone out there in the community. And I suppose part of this is just the frustration of knowing that the second someone says that's a gimmick, that they've already made up their minds on whether or not they would ever find that feature useful. It's really a fruitless endeavor for me to try and change their minds in many situations. The word gimmick is becoming something of a big, giant, red nope eject button for a lot of conversations that I've been getting into. I wonder how that transition actually happens when something moves from gimmick to expected hardware feature. Is it purely a component of time that we just have to get used to the idea of that hardware feature being there over several generations of smartphone? I mean, just think of all of the gimmicks that we kind of just now take for granted on the last 2 or 3 years of smartphone design. Adding curves and bend to a display? Yeah, well, that's kind of something of a gimmick. Always on low power notifications like glance on Windows phones? Kind of a gimmick. Front-facing stereo speakers? I mean, we don't need these on a smartphone. And Apple delivering more ergonomic UI navigation through things like 3D touch. I mean, we've got a home button. Why would we need anything else? Gimmick. So yeah, having used the LG V10 for a couple weeks now, I don't need the ticker display above the screen, but it's been handy for docking shortcuts and adding additional camera controls. It's far from revolutionary, but it doesn't take anything away from the rest of the phone experience. So I really want to open up the discussion to you folks out there because I get amazing comments from all of my audience. What are your favorite gimmicks? What are gimmicks that actually did fall flat? Drop me some comments down below. And especially for that idea of when does a gimmick become something that we expect, a core piece of the smartphone experience. I love getting into conversations like that. And just a reminder, this front-facing camera video blog, this FFC vlog, was shot using the dual camera sensors, Gimmick, on the LG V10. It's been a trying situation using these selfie cameras. LG shoots full auto on their front-facing cameras. We don't have any of the awesome manual controls that we do on the rear camera, and there are definitely some exposure gremlins that LG needs to sort out. That's why I've got lights behind me. It's because it takes a scan of the whole scene to determine exposure. So if the scene behind me is dark and I have lights on my face, I'm going to be way overexposed. And there were even some exposure gremlins in shooting this way. But I think the lights behind me seemed to make a difference, especially if you catch the little short front-facing camera test that I did in my full V10 review. This is better, but it's kind of silly that I need to be backlit for proper exposure. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more rambling vlogs like these. And I would not be able to continue producing on this channel if you all weren't out there supporting it by hitting my Amazon affiliate links, the fan funding that's going to pop up above this screen, and by shopping for a Loot Crate or grabbing yourself a free audiobook using the links down below this video, and by sharing my videos on your favorite social sites like Twitter and Reddit and Facebook and the Googles Plus, so please keep bringing more cool people to the party. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next vlog.